The Pala Empire was an imperial power during the post-classical period in the Indian subcontinent, which originated in the region of Bengal. It is named after its ruling dynasty, whose rulers bore names ending with the suffix Pala. They were followers of the Mahayana and Tantric schools of Buddhism. The empire was founded with the election of Gopala as the emperor of Gauda in 750 CE. The Pala stronghold was located in Bengal and Bihar, which included the major cities of Vikrampura, Pataliputra, Gauda, Monghyr, Somapura, Ramvati, Tamralipta and Jaggadala. The Palas were astute diplomats and military conquerors. Their army was noted for its vast war elephant corps. Their navy performed both mercantile and defensive roles in the Bay of Bengal. They built grand temples and monasteries, including the Somapura Mahavihara, and patronized the great universities of Nalanda and Vikramashila. The Proto-Bengali language developed under Pala rule. The empire enjoyed relations with the Srivijaya Empire, the Tibetan Empire and the Arab Abbasid Caliphate. Abbasid coinage found in Pala archaeological sites, as well as records of Arab historians, point to flourishing mercantile and intellectual contacts. The House of Wisdom in Baghdad absorbed the mathematical and astronomical achievements of Indian civilization during this period. At its height in the early 9th century, the Pala Empire was the dominant power in the northern Indian subcontinent, with its territory stretching across the Gangetic Plain to include parts of modern-day eastern Pakistan, northern and northeastern India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. The empire reached its peak under emperors Dharmapala and Devapala. The Palas also exerted a strong cultural influence under Atisa in Tibet, as well as in Southeast Asia. Pala control of North India was ultimately ephemeral, as they struggled with the Guryara Pratiharas and the Rashtrakutas for the control of Coinage and were defeated. After a short-lived decline, Emperor Mahipala I defended imperial bastions in Bengal and Bihar against South Indian Chola invasions. Emperor Ramapala was the last strong Pala ruler, who gained control of Kamarupa and Kalinga. The empire was considerably weakened by the 11th century, with many areas engulfed in rebellion. The resurgent Hindu Sena dynasty dethroned the Pala Empire in the 12th century, ending the reign of the last major Buddhist imperial power in the Indian subcontinent. The Pala period is considered one of the golden eras of Bengali history. The Palas brought stability and prosperity to Bengal after centuries of civil war between warring divisions. They advanced the achievements of previous Bengali civilizations and created outstanding works of arts and architecture. They laid the basis for the Bengali language, including its first literary work, the Charyapada. The Pala legacy is still reflected in Tibetan Buddhism. History. Origins. According to the Kalimpur copper plate inscription, the first Pala king Gopala was the son of a warrior named Vapyata. The Ramakaritam attests that Varandra was the fatherland of the Palas. The ethnic origins of the dynasty are unknown, although later records claim that Gopala was a Kshatriya or descended from the legendary Solar dynasty. The Balalakarita states that the Palas were Kshatriyas, a claim reiterated by Taranatha in his History of Buddhism in India as well as Ganaram Chakrabarti in his Dharmamangala. The Ramakaritam also attests the 15th Pala emperor, Ramapala, as a Kshatriya. Claims of belonging to the legendary Solar dynasty are unreliable and clearly appear to be an attempt to cover up the humble origins of the dynasty. The Pala dynasty has also been branded as Sudra in some sources such as Manjushri Malakalpa. This might be because of their Buddhist leanings. According to Abul Fazl ibn Mubarak, the Palas were Kayasthas. There are even accounts that claim Gopala may have been from a Brahmin lineage. Establishment. After the fall of Shasanka's kingdom, the Bengal region was in a state of anarchy. There was no central authority, and there was constant struggle between petty chieftains. The contemporary writings describe this situation as Matsya Nyaya. Gopala ascended the throne as the first Pala king during these times. The Kalimpur copper plate suggests that the Prakriti of the region made him the king. Taranatha, writing nearly 800 years later, also writes that he was democratically elected by the people of Bengal. However, his account is in form of a legend, and is considered historically unreliable. The legend mentions that after a period of anarchy, the people elected several kings in succession, all of whom were consumed by the Naga queen of an earlier king on the night following their election. Gopal, however, managed to kill the queen and remained on the throne. The historical evidence indicates that Gopala was not elected directly by his citizens, but by a group of feudal chieftains. Such elections were quite common in contemporary societies of the region. Gopala's ascension was a significant political event as the several independent chiefs recognized his political authority without any struggle. Expansion under Dharmapala and Devapala. Gopala's empire was greatly expanded by his son Dharmapala and his grandson Devapala. Dharmapala was initially defeated by the Pratihara ruler Vatsaraja. Later, the Rashtrakuta king Dhruva defeated both Dharmapala and Vatsaraja. After Dhruva left for the Deccan region, Dharmapala built a mighty empire in the northern India. He defeated Indrayuta of Coinage, and installed his own nominee Chakrayuta on the throne of Coinage. Several other smaller states in North India also acknowledged his suzerainty. Soon, his expansion was checked by Vatsaraja's son Nagapata II, who conquered Coinage and drove away Chakrayuta. Nagapata II then advanced up to Monghyr and defeated Dharmapala in a pitched battle. Dharmapala was forced to surrender and to seek alliance with the Rashtrakuta Emperor Govinda III, who then intervened by invading northern India and defeating Nagapata II. The Rashtrakuta records show that both Chakrayuta and Dharmapala recognized the Rashtrakuta suzerainty. In practice, Dharmapala gained control over North India after Govinda III left for the Deccan. He adopted the title Paramasvara Paramabhadaraka Maharaja. Dharmapala was succeeded by his son Devapala, who is regarded as the most powerful Pala ruler. His expeditions resulted in the invasion of Pragyotisha, where the king submitted without giving a fight, and the Ukala, whose king fled from his capital city. The inscriptions of his successors also claim several other territorial conquests by him, but these are highly exaggerated. First period of decline. Following the death of Devapala, the Pala Empire gradually started disintegrating. Vikrayapala, who was Devapala's nephew, abdicated the throne after a brief rule, and became an ascetic. Vikrayapala's son and successor Narayanapala proved to be a weak ruler. During his reign, the Rashtrakuta king Amoavarsha defeated the Palas. Encouraged by the Pala decline, the king Harjara of Assam assumed imperial titles and the Salad Babas established their power in Orissa. Narayanapala's son Rajayapala ruled for at least 12 years, and constructed several public utilities and lofty temples. His son Gopala too lost Bengal after a few years of rule, and then ruled only Bihar. The next king, Vikrayapala II, had to bear the invasions from the Shantalas and the Kalashuris. During his reign, the Pala Empire disintegrated into smaller kingdoms like Gauda, Radha, Anga, and Vanga. Kantideva of Harakala also assumed the title Maharaja and established a separate kingdom, later ruled by the Chandra dynasty. The Gauda state was ruled by the Kamboja Pala dynasty. The rulers of this dynasty also bore names ending in the suffix Pala. However, their origin is uncertain, and the most plausible view is that they originated from a Pala official who usurped a major part of the Pala kingdom along with its capital. Revival under Mahipala I. Mahipala I recovered northern and eastern Bengal within 3 years of ascending the throne in 988 CE. He also recovered the northern part of the present-day Burdwan division. During his reign, Rajendra Chola I of the Chola Empire frequently invaded Bengal from 1021 to 1023 CE to get Ganges water and in the process, succeeded to humble the rulers, acquiring considerable booty. The rulers of Bengal who were defeated by Rajendra Chola were Dharmapal, Ranasur, and Govindakandra, who might have been feudatories under Mahipala I of the Pala dynasty. Rajendra Chola I also defeated Mahipala, and obtained from the Pala king elephants of rare strength, women and treasure. Mahipala also gained control of North and South Bihar, probably aided by the invasions of Mahmud of Ghazni, which exhausted the strength of other rulers of North India. He may have also conquered Varanasi and surrounding area, as his brothers Tirupala and Vashantapala undertook construction and repairs of several sacred structures at Varanasi. Later, the Kaleshuri king Gangayadeva annexed Varanasi after defeating the ruler of Anga, which could have been Mahipala I. Second period of decline. Nyapala, the son of Mahipala I, defeated the Kaleshuri king Karna after a long struggle. The two later signed a peace treaty at the mediation of the Buddhist scholar Atiza. During the reign of Nyapala's son Vikrayapala III, Karna once again invaded Bengal but was defeated. The conflict ended with the peace treaty, and Vikrayapala III married Karna's daughter Yovanasri. Vikrayapala III was later defeated by the invading Chalukya king Vikramaditya VI. The invasion of Vikramaditya I saw several soldiers from South India into Bengal, which explains the southern origin of the Sena dynasty. Vikrayapala III also faced another invasion led by the Somavamsi king Mahasivagda Yayati of Orissa. Subsequently, a series of invasions considerably reduced the power of the Palas. The Varmans occupied eastern Bengal during his reign. Mahipala II, the successor of Vikrayapala III, brought a short-lived reign of military glory. His reign is well documented by Santyakar Nandi and Ramakaridam. Mahipala II imprisoned his brothers Ramapala and Shurapala II, on the suspicion that they were conspiring against him. Soon afterwards, he faced a rebellion of vassal chiefs from the Kabarda. A chief named Devi killed him and occupied the Varandra region. The region remained under the control of his successors Rudak and Bhima. Shurapala II escaped to Magadha and died after a short reign. He was succeeded by his brother Ramapala, who launched a major offensive against Devi's grandson Bhima. He was supported by his maternal uncle Mathana of the Rashtrakuta dynasty, as well as several feudatory chiefs of South Bihar and southwest Bengal. Ramapala conclusively defeated Bhima, and killing him and his family in a cruel manner. Revival under Ramapala. After gaining control of Varandra, Ramapala tried to revive the Pala Empire with limited success. He ruled from a new capital at Ramavati, which remained the Pala capital until the dynasty's end. He reduced taxation, promoted cultivation and constructed public utilities. He brought Kamarupa and Rar under his control, and forced the Varman king of East Bengal to accept his suzerainty. He also struggled with the Ganga king for control of present-day Orissa. The Genghis managed to annex the region only after his death. Ramapala maintained friendly relations with the Kola king Kulatunga to secure support against the common enemies, the Ganas and the Chalukyas. He kept the Senyas in check, but lost Mithila to a Karnataka chief named Nanuadeva. He also held back the aggressive design of the Gaudavala ruler Govindakarndra through a matrimonial alliance. Final decline. Ramapala was the last strong Pala ruler. After his death, a rebellion broke out in Kamarupa during his son Kumarapala's reign. The rebellion was crushed by Vaidhyadeva, but after Kumarapala's death, Vaidhyadeva practically created a separate kingdom. According to Ramakaridam, Kumarapala's son Gopala III was murdered by his uncle Madanapala. During Madanapala's rule, the Varmans in East Bengal declared independence, and the eastern Gangas renewed the conflict in Orissa. Madanapala captured Monghyr from the Gaudavalas, but was defeated by Vijayasena, who gained control of southern and eastern Bengal. A ruler named Govindapala ruled over the Gaya district around 1162 CE, but there is no concrete evidence about his relationship to the imperial Palas. The Pala dynasty was replaced by the Sena dynasty,